Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me with Keeping It Real with E. Today is Wednesday, November the 2nd in Singapore time, and I have not been journaling because I've been super busy. It's been a little bit crazy, or a lot crazy, transitioning from the US here to Singapore. And this evening, there's so many things that I've been wanting to share. Thank you so much. I've received a lot of beautiful notes and comments privately on my messages, and then through on Instagram also, and on YouTube, comments on what I share. You know, that God is real, God is personal. And He loves you, and He's crazy about you. He's crazy about us. He's crazy about me in the midst of all the craziness. And I've got some crazy to share, trust me. So tonight I am finally getting into, I just set aside some time. This is a service apartment. I'm here in Singapore. Feeling very, very blessed and grateful that we have this space while we're getting our permanent home organized. But prior to that, you know, I wanted to be able to share that it was very difficult. There was a lot of sadness and loss before we arrived. We knew that our senior dog, Cupid, he's just, just the precious love bug of our life. My husband rescued him like 16, 17 years ago. And he was in severe decline at the beginning of the year. And a few weeks before we were moving, it just accelerated. And so we were with him and held him and had to let him go. And that was really difficult. It was really difficult. Man, it was like, you know, he couldn't make this trip anyway. But how ironic was it that he was in such severe decline right when he needed to be, like, because we had to go. So it was just this really interesting timing. For that, it was a very difficult few days for me. I'm happy now. I'm okay. I didn't think I was going to feel like that, honestly, but I'm good now. But let me just share what happened a few days afterwards, which was completely unexpected. And if you guys follow me, if you subscribe to my channel, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe. You will know that I share and I talk about loss, the reality of loss and heartache. My mother, my aunt, my best friend's mother, all kinds of things that go on. And I'm not like a negative, like, poo-poo on stuff. It's just reality, right? Life is messy. And we don't have explanations for things, but God is good and He is faithful. And I see that every single day. And that's my purpose, is to share that with you. So here we are, a few weeks before we leave for Singapore, and our beloved dog Cupid, it was his time to go. And I got to hold him and let him go, and let him go on for his full life. Okay. Then, literally a few days later, our daughter has a hamster. His name is Arthur. And Arthur is this beautiful little white Russian that we adopted, and that was her gift for being in honor roll for all of her 6th or 5th grade year. In any event, all of a sudden he has this weird thing. So please forgive me. I'm just going to have to share. It was a prelapsed colon. This little thing was hanging out of his back end. And anywho, I took him to the vet, and it was a prelapsed colon, and we had it. They tried to put it back in and did all these things. Now, we could not, let me back up, sorry. We could not take Arthur. We could not bring Arthur to Singapore because he's a rodent. And apparently, it does not matter what airline you fly. It does not matter if you're first class, business class. It does not matter. You cannot bring a rodent onto the airplane. So we were actually going to have Arthur go live with my brother, my sister-in-law, and the cousins. Now all of a sudden, the week before we leave, Arthur is sick with a prelapsed colon. Arthur does not survive. Let me just cut to the chase. Arthur does not survive. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for my daughter because, she not only could she not bring him to Singapore, but now he's gone. And she could not even give him to her cousin, which was the plan, with all of his housing and goodies. 2 days later, she says to me, "Mom, I think it's better that Arthur got sick and wasn't and he's okay now." I said, "Why do you say that?" And she says, "Because I was worried about Arthur, because my brother and my sister-in-law have a oh my gosh, that dog. Oh, it's a Frenchie. It's like a full Frenchie. And he's super cute. He's oh my gosh, he's handsome and so sweet all the day long. But he's all boy." So Sophia says, "Mom, I would have been worried about Arthur with Major." And she says, "Maybe it's better that Arthur got sick and died. So now I don't have to worry about him anymore. And we can just adopt a hamster in Singapore." And I'm like, wow. Okay, this is heavy. The fact that she has this emotional intelligence and just says, "Mom, it's okay." And that she feels better that Arthur's gone. So, okay, I don't want to stay there. There's so much that happened before us coming to Singapore, getting the paperwork ready, the animals, letting go of that, not letting go, because you don't let go. I mean, that's the wrong term. It's such a cliche term, isn't it? It was just timing, for our dog, Cupid. He was 17, and it was time for him, to go. And then Arthur, the hamster, out of the blue, came up with this thing, with a colon. Anyway, it all worked out. And so I guess today, or this evening from Singapore, my first vlog is that, the weeks preparing, coming here, were filled with heartache. They were filled with some sadness, a lot of sadness, and new normals. I've talked about that before in my other vlogs. If you follow me and journal with me, or know about my mother and her brain cancer and everything that we went through with that, we think something is going to play out in one way, but it doesn't. It plays out in another way. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that, our dog Cupid, he had a beautiful full life and he was ready to go. I wasn't ready for him to go. We weren't ready for him to go, but he was more than ready. And it just happened in alignment before we needed to be here. And then lo and behold, out of the blue, the hamster that we thought we were going to, carry on to a cousin to take care of, it didn't work out like that. And thank goodness he got sick with us. Because how terrible would it have been had our cousin had him and he got sick. That would be terrible. So anyway, guys, I'm just, my first little tidbit on what it was like right before coming here to Singapore. It was heavy, heavy, heavy. Lots of emotions, lots of feelings, lots of thinking about things. But we got here into this really cool service apartment. We're about to move out, though. We've been here for 3 weeks. There's a lot to all of that, and I will be journaling about what it's like to be here and new normals in a new country, new mindsets, new everything. But regardless of all of this, what I'm going to say, right, is that the Lord is with you. He's with us. He's with me. He's with you. And may the Lord bless you and keep you. And may his face shine down upon you in graciousness and peace. And you know something? He's behind you. He stands beside you. He goes before you. So grateful in the midst of a lot of unknowns. He still makes the way. There's so many beautiful things that come together, and I will share those in future vlogs coming up really, 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 really soon. Like in the next night or two, I'm going to be sharing, how God is bringing things together here in Singapore. But when we don't see those things come together initially, it's scary, it's nervous, and but then everything makes sense. And it doesn't happen like straight away. But I promise it happens. So anyway, may the Lord bless you and keep you again. And blessings. It is Wednesday. No, it's not. Oh yeah, it's still Wednesday. It's still Wednesday, 9:30 here, Singapore time. All right, good night and God bless you. Thank you so much.